In my family, I do the weekly shopping for food. I think it's both fun and frustrating at the same time. The inner hunter-gatherer within me is excited to see what kind of treasures I can bring home to my cave. But the reflective part of my brain is almost having a seizure. It starts off pretty easily, though. I go up to the morning cereal section to pick something I like. Then I remember I have a wife. Then I remember I have kids. Then I remember I want it to be really low in sugar. Below 10% of daily caloric intake is what UN recommends. Science says 5. Do you know how hard it is to find just one single package that lives up to all of that? And then I haven't even started to add more complicated purchasing criteria, like daily recommended intake of nutrients, harmful additives, biodiversity, ethics in the production chain, and what have you. When I start thinking about it, it's like my head's going to explode. But I know this after my visit to the shop, that what I buy for my family and what I want them to eat are two different things. So how about you? What do you think about the world? Do you want to contribute to poor health, injustice, and environmental degradation? If you want to, please raise your hand. You can get it off your chest now if you want to. Of course you don't. You're good people. But if I ask you the question in another way, are you aware of that when you buy products, they contribute to poor health, injustice, and environmental degradation? How many of you are aware? This is how it is. We have to choose between the value, what we want from the product, and the hidden unwanted side effects. You have to choose between the value of the product and your own values. This is unreasonable. It's not okay. Let's not get used to it. It shouldn't continue. We cannot foresee the future, but we are buying it. So let's try to buy a really good one. And I can imagine one day where you and I can use our hard-earned money in a perfect reflection of our own values. That would be really, really nice. I want to talk to you about this because I want to remind you about the opportunity you have to vote with your wallet and thereby changing the world. What about the rest of the consumers in the world? What do they think about this? I've been working with sustainability communications for 20 years, and I found that facts are really, really important. So they can cut through a fog, they can clear up a sky, and that's what I'm going to try to do around some of the myths. So when I've been looking in marketing reports from all over the world, this is what I found. What people really want is one fat green button that fixes everything. When you push it, there's no more poor health, injustice, and environmental degradation. I'm not talking about a physical button to press, I'm not talking about a new kind of eco-label. I'm talking about the opportunity to buy cereals without getting a seizure. A green button is a great product and a sustainable product. It's both. So what are you thinking about when you think about sustainability? Do you think about it this way? An all-time electrical car. How fast will it go? How far will it go? How good will my neighbors think I look like driving it? I asked them, they just laughed. Or maybe you're thinking about green buttons like this. A Tesla Roadster, it came out in 2008. It accelerates from 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 3.7 seconds. That is as fast as a really fast Ferrari, but this one does it silently, like something out of science fiction. So the founders of Google, Dustin Hoffman and Arnold Schwarzenegger, they all lined up to get a hold of one of these. So when you're thinking about sustainability, is it like that or like that? It's your choice. But it's a really big difference, isn't it? The first quarter of 2015, 1 out of 3 new sold cars in Norway was electric. That's the highest proportion in the whole world. So changes do happen. But it was quite a long time between these cars. The first one was created a long time ago and this one now. And it can be really hard to create really good green buttons for us. H&M, the fashion giant, knows that. They started off their first conscious collection in 1993. It was a beige dress with coconut buttons that fell off. It wasn't a success. But what they've learned is that they have to have fashion in there. They cannot compromise between fashion and sustainability. It has to be a really good product. In recent years, I've turned into a flexitarian. That means I still eat meat, but I try to reduce my meat consumption. And it's never been easier to do just that, because it seems like every month there's a new flexitarian product sailing out on a vast new ocean. This one, Oomph, just launched in Sweden. And an overseas friend of mine saw it and told me, I've been waiting 30 years for vegan to turn sexy. Now I'm thinking of moving to Sweden. But this product isn't for the vegans of the world or for my friend that's already got it. It's for the 90% of the world who hasn't. So why can't we get more green buttons? I've been asking that to business people, executives, sales directors, business developers, marketers, and they come with this answer. We would be more than willing to create green buttons, but we're just afraid no one will buy them. We think the market is just too small. So let's go back to the facts again. This is the global pattern I found. 1 out of 20 people in the world actually don't care. It's not that they want the planet or people to fail, it's just that their heads are focused on something completely different. 14 of the 20 people care. They would reward companies delivering green buttons to them with loyalty, maybe even love. But they're not actively looking for green buttons. But this group does, the last 5 out of the 20 people. They want to include sustainability into their purchasing decisions. But how many do we need to create a big enough market? Common business theory by Everett Rogers and others tells us that 3 people, 3 out of 20 is enough. If we have more than that, we should see a rapid adoption of new behaviors, of new technologies into the population. And we have 5. We needed only 3. We have 5. So why can't we see a change in every product category in every market? Because where there's supposed to be a green button, there is a black hole. There's simply nothing to push. It can't be found. When you go to a shop and you manage to find a shirt that you like, does it then automatically come with a green button? Or do you have to find another shirt, another shop, another city, Or can't you even find it? But we can go back now with this information to the business people and tell them, the market is there. We are billions. So can you now create more green buttons for us? And the response is, those facts may be totally right. But you know, we are special. It doesn't happen to our customers. We are not a hippie brand. And if we try to sound like hippies, it would just come out as fake. We don't want to be fake. So, can we really sell sustainability to everyone, or is it just the hippies? A new survey came out 2015 that looked at 3 kind of personality types. And we're going to go and get to know them a little bit, and we're going to try to sell solar panels to them to see if we can do that. The first group are the pioneers. They make up 25% of the global population. They want to reach their inner potential, live an ethical life, and find new insights. So let's see what a sales pitch to them could sound like.
Do you care about climate change? Do you care about our planet and the people on it? Do you want to be the change you want to see in the world? Well, solar panels.
Okay, pretty straightforward message, and quite a lot around morals. So what we really sold here was authenticity, progress, and change. The next group, the settlers, are quite different. They make up 20% of the global population. And while the pioneers think about the big world, settlers think about the small. The everyday life, the normality of things, the loved ones. They want to cut costs. They don't want to change. So can we really sell solar panels to them?
Are your electricity bills running amok? Retake control with the oldest and cleanest energy around, the sun. These panels will save you money, which is why your neighbor just installed one.
So what we sold here was control, savings, and normality. But the world doesn't belong to neither the settlers or the pioneers. It belongs to the prospectors of the world, who make up 55% of the global population. And they want to have fun. They want to be the best at what they're doing. Their parties are the wildest. Can we sell solar panels to them as well? Let's see.
Solar energy is hot. These ultra high-performance panels are available in black, pink, and limited edition platinum. They will be noticed.
This commercial sounds like it's over the top, but quite often commercials to prospectors sound like that. What we really sold here was vitality, exclusivity, and visibility. By now, you might be wondering, which of these groups do you belong to? You actually belong to all of them. But there's one side that's dominating more than the others. It can change over life. It can change with the situation. But my take-home message here is really, people are who they are, not who we want them to be. If we are not a hippie brand, don't try to sound like one. But these people also need green buttons, and we can sell sustainability to all of them. What about sales of green buttons? Is someone making money on them already now? Well, these brands are. They've all managed to sell green buttons on $1 billion level or more. That's billion with a B. And they're accompanied by a lot of more companies that sells green buttons. They're just smaller. And together, they are still exceptions to the rule. Most companies haven't even started to ask themselves, how can sustainability give my consumers more? We can't foresee the future. We are buying it. And thankfully, more and more companies are selling us a more positive version of it. I love democracy. I think democracy is beautiful, precious, and fragile. I'm so thankful for all the people who have struggled to protect our democracies. Many have even died. I want everyone to have a say in how we shape our societies. Today, companies are shaping our societies more than ever. So when I go into the shop and push the best green buttons I can find, I feel like I'm voting. Not once every 4th year, but every day, and with my own money. Not on one out of a few candidates, but on the single one product out of thousands I want to win. I guess the best things in life are still going to be free. Good friends, laughter, a gentle touch, love. But to be able to use your hard-earned money in a way that perfectly reflect your own values could also be really, really nice. It's always been difficult to find good green buttons to push. But it's never been easier than now, and never more important. When you go into the shop and pick a cereals package, think about the green button for a little while. Think about what it could mean to your life, to the society, to the world. What I want you to do is to look for green buttons, ask for green buttons, demand green buttons. Share green buttons with your friends, hype them up, and most of all, buy them. Thank you.